Well, firstly, I was struck by, I think in terms of animation, I think it's one of the most human art forms still available to us. If you can always feel the human hand behind it, it doesn't really matter what the format is. I would love just if you could all please just, if we could go down the line and introduce ourselves and just talk a little bit about the decision to embrace the certain type of animation, because we've had something from GA Basketball which was incredibly energetic and raw and had very human feel behind it, and something to the very next film, Garden Party, which is photoreal and so much information, so much detail to that, and I think it's just, for me, it's fascinating just to find out where that decision came from.
Kobe Bryant. I used to play basketball, and I think for us, the reason why we wanted to do animation and also do hand-drawn animation is because the core of the story carries such a rawness to it. And when you're building a career, there's a lot of imperfections that come along with that. And we wanted to find the beauty in the imperfection of those lines, which, Glenn, if you want to get an animator to do it in hand-drawn, it's got to be Glenn. So that's why we did
it. Glenn Keane. Thank you. And for me, it's all about living in the skin of the character that you're animating. And I mean, I've been a mermaid and a beast, but I never thought I could be Kobe Bryant. That's like. And drawing, to me, is really something that's very deeply expressive. I mean, I think of line as like a seismograph of your soul as you're drawing it. It's putting something real that you're feeling, and I mean, I felt like I did all the things that you did out there. It was really cool. So, thank you.
I'm Victor, and this is Gabriel. We used to be students, and and we wanted to find a job. And we liked animals, and that's pretty much it. So, thank you.
Dave Mullins. Yeah, for me, I've since I was a kid, I was into computers and animation and drawing and films, and animation's just where I've always loved being and animating. And for me, the story is basically taking everything that I've learned from being an animator, designing, writing, directing, everything, and just putting into a film that was really personal for me. So, especially computer animation, there's just something I fell in love with. Like when I was a kid, I saw Tron, and my brain kind of melted when I saw that. I'd never really seen that before, and I've just been chasing it ever since. And the medium to me is just, I think it's limitless. And you see, just animation in general, you see everything, all the filmmakers up here and all the amazing work that was done, and it's represented across so many different types of the medium. So, yeah, I think animation to me is just, I'll always be attracted to it.
I'm Dana Murray. I was the producer of Lou, and I think what's so incredible about all of the stories that were told is like they could only be told in animation, unless we filmed you, Kobe. But they're just all so beautiful, and it's incredible. And so just to be up here with all of you is an honor.
Hello, my name is Ru Kuwahata. I co-directed Negative Space with Max Porter. So the film is based on a 150-word poem by Ron Kirchi, who's in the audience today. And the story is about relationship between father and son, but it's about packing. So we thought that we needed to make the objects and clothes alive, and we thought that stop motion was the best way, animation is the best way to portray this story.
Yeah, and the only thing I would want to add is with stop motion, because you are touching objects and the textures are rich and alive on the screen, we thought that it would help the audience connect with what was going on inside the film.
Hello, I'm Jan Lachauer, and I co-directed this with Jacob Schuh.
Hi there. So we grew up in Bavaria, and we grew up on Roald Dahl with German translations of Roald Dahl. So we didn't know this collection of poems that our film is based on. Does this work?
Yep.
And so we were made aware of it sort of many years after we'd read all of Dahl's work, and it just, that book, it's separate poems, and it was written in 1981, and it just seemed incredibly modern and fitting, and we could imagine this to be a great film, and so we went at it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not reading, these aren't questions, these aren't anything prepared, I'm just looking at this other thing that I wrote earlier. That I was, oh, it is cool that I wrote that thing. Okay, so when you, Kobe, when you wrote the that piece for the Players Tribune, did you ever have any idea at the time that you wanted to turn it into something else, or was it?
I had a general idea. Like I wanted to, I'm a visual learner, so I wanted to write a film that was going to help the next generation learn. And I'm not big on picking up things from a reading standpoint and absorbing them. I got to read it like 5 times. And so I was thinking the next generation is probably similar to that. So I figured I'd make a film. This way they can kind of sit with it, learn by seeing, and absorb the message. So I had an idea I wanted to do it. Swung for the fences and went for Glenn and went for John, which still sounds freaking ridiculous.
Cold them.
Yeah, you can't hit the ball if you don't swing the damn bat, right? So, and so yeah, I had a general idea.
Yeah. And how was it for you? Just getting the call and then not much of a decision.
It's just a normal thing, Kobe. It's like it happens every other day.
I was geeking out because I was chilling with Ariel and the Beast. It's like, what the hell is going on?
It was pretty wonderful. Kobe came over to we have a tiny little studio in West Hollywood. And I thought when Kobe came in, it's like, he's not going to be impressed with this place at all. And he came in and you stood there and he just kind of looked around and said, this is perfect.
So first had to duck through the frame.
Yeah. They said, why? He said, well, it's just real. It was just a tiny little place with a lot of drawings on the wall. And right from the very beginning, he wanted it to be hand-drawn, handcrafted, just like the game of basketball. And that's what we did, working with Max Keane, our production designer, and Jenny Rim, our producer.
He said I had the worst person that could animate basketball in the history. He said, I don't understand anything about basketball. That's what he said to me. So that's fantastic, because I don't know how to draw for shit. So it's par for the course. And then John comes in the picture and goes, I got to be honest, I've never been to a basketball game. I say, what the hell? Not one? No, not high school, not college, never been to one. I said, John, you were in LA when Showtime, Magic, Cap, you know what I mean? It was going on. And he drops the mic on me with, well, George and Steven kept me busy. I was like, that's it.
That's it. And then you boys. So where did this thing come from? I'll translate for myself. Where did it come from?
Very kind. The idea came from, it's a student project. There is 6 co-directors. There is 4 others in the room.
Guys, stand up.
They're beautiful too. And it was brainstorming all together, and we knew that we wanted to do something with animals. We knew that we wanted to add something a little bit more mature, so we had a crime scene, a little bit of polar, and voila.
It's that easy, folks. It's that easy. No study of frogs. Just made that up. No. Yeah. How did that?
The problem is the frogs was amateurs, so it was sometimes really hard to.
Oh, they're all amateurs.
But it's fine. It's fine. Made it.
Okay. You guys.
It's hard
So,
to follow that up. For me, the film, it came from when I was a kid. I moved around a lot, and like twice a year, I'd be like the new kid at school, and so. If anybody's been a new kid at school, you know how like awkward you feel and off and weird, and if you've gone to a new job or whatever. And so, I was thinking about that a lot when I was coming up with 3 ideas to pitch, and just the idea of a character that could kind of hide in plain sight at Pixar. And at Pixar, I don't know if you've seen Pixar films before, but we like to bring things.
No, never.
Inanimate things to life.
What's the company called?
Kind of a thing that we do. We're like, let's take that and give it a job. But. I was thinking about that, and really the idea came out of that experience, and I really wanted to kind of find a foil for that character that was, you look at a Lost and Found box, and it's a cool thing. From an animation point of view, you're like, oh my God, how are we going to make a character out of baseballs and sweaters and junk and crap that kids are leaving around the school? And so, you get this character, and you discover, that, Lost and Found box, it's meant to give things back to the original owners. And so, any good story needs conflict, so the best conflict for that's a bully. And when you get that character in there, and we found that's when I think the heart of it came together. And, my kids, and I think both of our kids dealt with bullying at school, and we've had to talk to our kids a lot about that. And so it all just rang true for us, and it was exciting. And it's really challenging. It's a really crazy character to make every shot a different character. So.
And we have some of our crew that showed up as well. Yeah. They animated those crazy shots, which was incredible.
Yeah. Stand up. Adam Habib, Tony Greenberg, Katie, Henry Garcia.
And then for you guys, one of the most time-consuming of all styles of animation there is. Just can you talk us through I'm more interested in like where it came from, but also the timeline, like how long the entire thing took, just from construction of the props and everything, and the characters.
So the development took about a year while we were looking for funding, and then the production itself was 9 months total, divided into 3 months of set, puppet, and prop making, 3 months of shooting, and 3 months of post-production. But we had a really amazing support from France. We moved and lived there for 9 months period, and we got a lot of support from Icky Films and Manuel Com Studio, both artistically and financially. So I just want to introduce my crew. Stand up!
And our lead animator, Sylvan, is here as well.
Well, I thought you were going to keep talking while I looked at my next thing. This is all a mess anyway. How is animation hard? Yeah, we all know it is. Yeah. All right, next group. Roald Dahl. What? Oh, you're all part of it. Well, I'm not going to ask you what it was like writing it, because you didn't write it, but incredible. I mean, I grew up with those stories. I'm sure, many people here did as well. Absolutely incredible animation, and how, why, when, how long. I want the half an hour commentary on the entire thing in 1 minute.
So everything started with our producers approaching us with that book, and we both read it and immediately fell in love with it. We both know Roald Dahl quite well. We're both from Germany, but we didn't know that specific book. But as we read it, we liked it a lot, And then, we started thinking about how could we adapt it. Started looking at the poems and at the characters, what are their motifs, and we immediately had the feeling that because they're separate poems, that's 6 separate poems in the book, and we chose 3 of them to make this film because we had the feeling they all belong to one world. And we started with the story, and then at some our 3rd director came on board, is Binhanto.
Binhanto was sitting over there.
I heard that. I don't know if he heard that. I heard that. Turn it off.
So, was it how, when, and why? Or what were those 3 questions?
Yep.
16 months. The tricky bit was literally that there were unconnected poems. So everything that you saw that were relationships between these characters, like Snow White and Little Red Riding Hood, isn't in the book. They're separate stories. So by connecting them all, but not adding any new rhymes, all of these relationships had to be wordless without hopefully you feeling that they're wordless. So writing took a long time, took about 4 months to write it, and then we had to really hurry up to make it because we wanted it to coincide with Dahl's 100th birthday, so there was a really solid deadline to that. And yeah, it was good fun, but not a lot of sleep.
Is his birthday this year?
What's that?
His 100th birthday this year?
No, it was last year.
Last year.
2000.
Happy 101th birthday. Once is not a... okay, well, guess what? That's the end of that. No questions from the audience. What? It's the Academy. They're just very strict. I'll take one question. This is very unconventional. They told me not to, but I'm a rule breaker, just like him. Just me and him, rule breakers. Okay. Yeah, you.
Well, my question is for Kobe.
Oh, yeah, surprise.
It's actually for Kobe, but for them, because how fair is it that the Academy, is not going to vote for you in Los Angeles with so many, Lakers fans, and especially in a place where, people like Chuck Nicholson used to write in their contract not to film a day that the Lakers are playing.
What's the question? I don't mean to be
How fair for the rest of them is to get, a nomination in a city like Los Angeles.
He's saying it's not fair.
Dude, I'm sitting up here with Pixar. You're asking me that question? That's Pixar. Yeah, no, I'm tripping out about this whole thing because going to the Oscar luncheon was nuts because I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all of these phenomenal actors and actresses and writers and music composers, and I'm just wondering what the hell am I doing here? It makes like yesterday I was playing basketball and I'm at the Academy luncheon, so it's completely freaking me out to be here. Like even just to be here right now is really bizarre to me. But it's pretty awesome, dude. So I don't know. I'm just hanging out.
Look, on that note, we've got a little intermission. I'd just love to congratulate all of you again on your nominations. It's an incredible feat. Congratulations. Best of luck.